Hey, the media is a powerful tool in influencing how people think and telling people what to pay attention to. And the media is a great tool in deciding for the people what's right and wrong. And as we all know, there's a lot of monkey business tweeting around lately. As we all know, there's a lot of icy cruelty going on, all of which is south of the Canadian border. But not a lot of people take the time to address and be concerned what has been happening north of the North American border. See, we always focus and sweep anti-Black racism and racism coming from high political places. We sweep it down south. And right now, all that monkey business that we see going on, I'm sure that a lot of political leaders in Canada are real happy because it's shifting the blame or diverting the blame and the problem for Black people on this entire continent away from the North. You know, did you ever see that show from back in the day, Eight is Enough? Right now, we're not talking about the Great Eight up here in Canada because we're so busy saying, see, I told you it's all down south. It isn't down south. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of things that we continue to sweep and say, no, it's the guys with the blue stars and the red and blue in their flag. It isn't the red and white flag. But you know what? It's time that we stop fooling ourselves and think, well, it's only in the South or possibly more in the North. We live on a continent that is drowning and entrenched with anti-Black racism. And it's time that we recognize we ain't safe south or north of the North American border. But I do want to highlight a little bit, since it's Black History Month, let us highlight and focus on the North. Are you ready? All right, here goes.
DeAndre Campbell, Michael Elligan, Dwayne Christian, just three of many Black Canadians involved in use of force cases involving police in Canada, each one under the age of 30. Each story a tragedy related to hundreds of years of history before Canada was even a nation. In 1834, Canada became the terminus of the Underground Railroad, a secret network that helped bring some 30,000 enslaved men, women, and children from the United States to relative freedom. But freedom did not mean equality. Africville, on the outskirts of Halifax, was a Black community dating back to 1848. For decades, the city of Halifax refused to provide residents clean drinking water. By 1970, the city had relocated all of Africville's residents. Some of them were moved in garbage trucks.
The Computer Center riot has gained an almost mythical stature as a turning point for race relations in Canada.
In 1969, students at what is now known as Concordia University in Montreal barricaded themselves in a computer room on campus to protest discrimination by a prof against 6 Black students. The legacy of trauma lives on today. When video surfaced of Justin Trudeau in blackface in the 1990s, even the PM admitted he wasn't aware of how racist the act was.
It was something that I didn't think was racist at the time, but now I recognize it was something racist to do, and I am deeply sorry.
Sorry, he doesn't look very sorry to me.
What's worse, the myths persist even today. The idea that Canada is somehow immune to widespread racism. Listen to Doug Ford last week.
Thank God that we're different than the United States. And we don't have the systemic, deep roots they have had for years.
And to Quebec Premier François Legault, who was either ignorant of history or chose to ignore it.
I don't want us to compare ourselves to the United States. We have not experienced slavery in the history of the United States.
Both eventually conceded racism exists, but their comments still reflect a lack of awareness about our own history. Sadly, that comes as no surprise to Andrea Davis, Associate Professor of Black Cultures of the Americas at York University.
I think that our leaders don't really have that excuse of saying, well, I wasn't taught this in school, because it's their responsibility to know the histories of the people they represent. It's their responsibility to know the societies that they represent. And again, if we're going to keep saying that this is a multicultural society, then it's upon us, all of us, to really genuinely seek to know each other.
There you have it. A lot of us in the North live in delusion. Yeah, there was slavery in Canada, and I'll share that fact with you, no? There was actual real life slavery, which persists today through the Jamaican migrant workers that work hours and hours on end without pay to put Canadian produce on our tables that we sit and eat and enjoy. But do you see? So you tell me how the monkey business down south of the North American border differs from what our previous prime minister did when he spray painted his face black. There's only two differences. The monkey man down south is not dealing with a full deck, so he doesn't know how to mask his illiteracy and stupidity. But the one up north, he just gave his half ASS apology. And we say, oh, I told you Canada's not racist. Really, though? And that's all we do is sweep the blame down south. But we should know as a people that whether you go down south or you head up north, as a Black people, you're going to face anti-Black racism. And now, to me, it's gotten worse because these people, politicians and what have you, they would sit behind closed doors and bash and make fun of Black people and come up with laws and policies on how to keep us chained, you know. Now they're not hiding it anymore. Now they're coming out publicly with their monkey business and spray painting their faces, you know. So that means danger for us as a people. And sometimes I don't think Black people realize how precarious our situation is, that they're no longer hiding it. That means sooner or later, they will randomly unalive us in the streets, and there's nothing that we'll be able to do about it if we don't rise up and come together and say, now, find another people for you to railroad and terrorize. Most of all, find your pride, find your dignity, find your Black excellence, your Black strength. Come together and unite. Tasha Cobbs sings about that army rising up that will break every chain. When are we going to come together and break chains? You see it for yourself. The monkey thing, it's gone public and viral, fueling other redneck trailer parks, both from the north and from the south. This entire continent was built off of our backs and the blood shed from Black people since the 1700s. drowns this entire continent. So never you think that it's just down south, and sweep it down south, because it's up here in the north too. And I've said it once and I'll say it again. The situation for Black people, now that it's public and viral, now that every trailer park has caught wind of the monkeys, and a prime minister in Canada who spray painted himself into a Negro, we are not safe. And it's time we start thinking about the possibility of vacating this continent, because we as a people, we are not safe unless we unite and come together and come up with something quick. You done know. Have a great day. Power to the people.